That's definitely something to be rewatched. So if you're interested, LuckersTurbo has in fact covered the entire day one of the Ubiteam Trio Cup. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, also geek in English.
And also G-Geek, yes. So you have multiple ways to follow how the competition went. And for those who are interested, exclamation mark bracket in the chat if you want to see how the competition evolved in the last couple days. Or, well, rather yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
And yeah, I think actually we're going to go live in a short moment. So how's the format going to be? Can you give us a quick introduction?
So I have no idea if it's 2 or 3 winners from a team here, because it's not standing in the bracket, or not yet. But yesterday the format was like that. So we have the 4 teams playing against each other, and we play in a cup mode. So every player is playing, and the point repartition is also... Okay, it's actually seed 1 and 2. They just added that after I checked.
Ah.
So it's the exact same format as yesterday. So it's a wild format, I can tell you. So we have all 12 players from those 4 teams, of course, playing against each other in cup mode. And then the point repartition is a little bit increased, of course, to the normal cup mode. And then 2 of those 3 players have to win the cup mode. So who's not familiar with the cup mode, it's a system where you collect points. And if you have surpassed a certain threshold, in this case 120 points, you activate the finalist mode, and then you have to win one more round in order to be a victorious player. But in that case, 2 of your 3 team members have to win the so-called cup mode.
Well, that's a very important thing, because I was just about to ask, how many players need to actually win finalist mode to qualify their team to the next round? So the answer is 2.
Yeah.
2 out of the 3 players, this is a trio competition, need to make it through, and then the team will qualify for the grand final. We have a prize pool of €250, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
So that is some nice little pocket money to fight for here in this competition. So today's matchup, we're in the first semifinal, and we have 3 players per team and 4 teams in total. So everyone who can do the math can calculate. We have 12 people on the track. We have Team Softeed, Team ZOB, Team Les Gros BG, and Only the Play. So we have 4 different teams. And yeah, unfortunately, we're unable to see who belongs to what team. I think they have actually tried to make a plugin, but it didn't work or something. There was some type of announcement in the Discord, and they said, "Hey, yeah, script doesn't work. We have some trouble, stuff like that." So it's a little unfortunate, but what can you do about it, Turbo?
Yeah, what can you do about it? I mean, here you can... I know the teams, so 2 of the teams are the favorites here, of course. With Coco, Cap, and Aurel. I think they have 3 out of the 4 WRs combined. So they are doing super good. And then also the team around Carl is consisting of Busy and Enner. So this is also a very good team. So they are the favorites going into here. And then we also have the team Nixotica. Nixotica's team is Vague and Feed, I think. And then there's 1 team left. But yeah, it is super messy to see that. And yesterday we had a sheet opened that is consisting of the players. But right now I was opening it, but the sheet was unavailable for me. But, yeah, so we cannot figure it out here. But hey, we're gonna see it eventually. As it is a really close round actually. Coco gets first, Aurel in second, and Enner in third. So we are indeed already live. For the people who didn't really recognize it, because we're just talking about
including myself.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the format here, but it's a thing that you really have to stress out here, because it's so hard to understand it, really. And
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like Coco is in a team with Aurel and Cap. They're doing good, but then it's getting messy, you know. You have this one team that you always know, but then it's getting really messy. But yeah, let's go on to the 3rd round, Ubim.
Exactly. So we have a map by Firestorm. Once again, Firestorm has contributed a map to a competition. You love to see it. Tsunami saying learn to fly. It was regarding the TOTD, I see. Yeah, we're not playing TOTD this time around, because we are having a look at this round, which is actually super tight at the start. And we currently see Aurel in the lead, followed by Energize, Super Karluf, Cap, and Exotica. So it's actually great to see Exotica perform here as well, as he's one of the top contenders from the United States. Many people always coming in and asking, hey, I'm new to Trackmania, are the United States actually somewhere in the, grand scope of Trackmania? And it's actually noticeable that you don't really have lots of US players. And here we see Exotica in 5th place. What a battle up front here, actually. Energize is taking it in front of Aurel, Coco, and Cap. So a great battle here, actually. Very close times, only 0.6 apart from each other within the top 8. So that was one very, very good round here on Mojo by Firestorm. World record is 102.4, well, not world record, but it's the local record here by no one other than Gwen.
Yeah, of course, Gwen, and he's also playing with Insanity and Afi, and they're awaiting the second semifinal. But it was really Energize having a super sick ending there, and this is actually what he was in need of, because he was at 8 points before that, and we see the first player dying.
Yep.
I think, who was that? Let me actually go into the
That was Busy, who was
yeah, he was busy.
Very, very far behind.
He was busy clipping the wall. But
very funny.
But no, Ener is actually betting it out with Cap here, and also Energize.
Wow.
Who died? Aurel, or everyone is kind
we
of...
have Coco, Vake, Exotica, and Shiny Me completely falling apart. I don't know what happened there.
Dude, it's so overwhelming, because you have 12 players all of a sudden, 12 top level players, and currently it is Shocker, Cap, and also Ener betting it out here for that first position. Cap goes over the penalty, but gets a better line over this section, so he's going on to the lead, but Shocker with the more direct line. Who's gonna take it? Cap with more speed. It is so close, and it's 4,000 between Shocker and Cap here. So Shocker is taking it, and a well-needed 14-pointer for him as well, denying some points towards Cap here. That was
very
sick.
exciting. Wow. 102.90, and both driven by Shocker and Cap Tang. So that was a very, very good battle up front. Couple mistakes happening here, but overall the level is definitely high. We see Aurel now with the most amount of points, 40 points, followed by Ener and Coco. So that's going to be the standing after map 1. And our next map looking to be corrupted by Slays. And Slays is also a very known name in the mapping scene. He has kind of risen from the ashes, sort of, as he started to all of a sudden build a lot of maps, especially in Dirt. And he's one of the most talented Dirt mappers nowadays, in my opinion. A very creative mapper as well, and this map is definitely no exception either. Corrupted here with the fastest time currently, a 57.268 by Insanity in the local records. But of course, that is not the overall global leaderboard that you usually have in Trackmania these days. It's not this fancy leaderboard on the left we currently don't see here. So the record might actually be faster. But this is a pretty much full dirt map with a couple road bits spreading the dirt sections apart from each other. So here you see Energize currently driving the warm-up. And he is showing us how it's done. So very technical map, very tight, very precision-based, and it does vary in speed quite a bit. You have some slower sections, couple faster parts as well, and then a bumpy section into the finish, where you need to make sure to get enough airtime to make it into the finish. And I think this is going to bode well for some nice racing, Turbo, as we have all cards still open for the qualification into the Grand Final.
Yeah, we had the ending here of yesterday's match that I have casted the quarterfinal for, which was the last map of yesterday, where we had it being ended on here. And this is a very unique map. You named it by Slays. It's a very cool map, making use of the so-called sausage block, and then also dirt and grass is onto here. So really important to really get the perfect line here, since you can push it a lot here. But I mean, you named it. It's not that fast, but it's also not a slow map. It's pretty unique in its way. But a close round is coming up here, as we have Aurel in the lead, and then followed up by his teammate Coco, and also Exotica with a very, very good dirt section. So you can see that Exotica is originating from this scene. I'm gonna follow Cap here for the remainder of the track, as Coco has actually claimed that first position. It is Exotica who's falling behind, so we have a double lead here for the team, Coco, Cap, and Aurel. Let's see what they can do in the ending. Looking good for Coco here to take that 14 points. Shocker with a mistake on the inside. Aurel and Shenemy are betting now for the second position, but Aurel stays ahead. But a close run in the end, not gonna lie. But Coco is 3 ahead of all the other people, but then it's getting super close here from 2nd to 7th position.
Very good time by Coco, actually. 57.46. That looks very strong. And I think, judging by what we've seen in the couple past rounds, the team around Cap, Aurel, and Coco seems to be the #1 team here. And they have pretty much the best chances to make it into the grand final and fight for the prize pool of €250. As we go into the next round, 2 mistakes already, 1 no slide by Enner and a wall hit by Busy. So a couple players falling down the pack already. Now we have the grass section where you can actually hold the 4th gear. We've seen a couple different line choices here as well. Right now a very, very close fight for the top as we see Energize with the next mistake. Let's take a look at some of the other drivers. Let's take a look at Aurel, who is currently in the battle for P4, 5-ish. Very, very close. It's really impossible to tell who's going to take this round. It's going to come down to the wire here in the last grass section. We see Shiny Me with a brake tap there, and he is going to get eaten by everyone else as he does actually get scrunched down a couple positions. Coco will take it once again with a 0.4, so the consistency that he's putting onto the asphalt is truly remarkable. Shocker also with a 0.4. Super Carloof with a 0.5 together with Cap, so very good racing here.
Yeah, very good racing, and actually I've not seen too much here from Vague, Shenemy, and also Busy. They seem to struggle a bit as they are 7 points behind P9, which is occupied by Feet. But on the other hand, a good performance by Coco and Aurel here, who are in P1 and 2. So, and also Cap, look at that, it's a triple lead for them. So that's an impressive performance, but I'm gonna follow Enner here. As he's in the battle here for the top, but actually falls down here, so went too far outside, so Enner is completely dead and won't have a saying in this round as Coco is again in first, but not getting the best line. But look at the speed from Coco here, just overtaking everyone here just by no-sliding it. So this is how you have to do it, but still a very close round. Again, nothing has been decided as Aurel is in the lead. You really want to minimize your airtime there. Aurel, Cap, and Coco 1, 2, and 3, but Cap has fallen behind. Aurel has a huge lead to work with here, 0.07 of a second, and he will stay in first unless he will fail the ending jump. Not the case. Aurel first, Coco second, Colin third, but again, a double victory here for Aurel and Coco. That is a very good performance by Softied.
Yeah, they're really, really good. Definitely the top team right now. You can clearly see that in the leaderboard. The triple lead for Coco, Aurel, and Cap right now. And now we're coming up to the final round of Corrupted. After that, we're going to go to the next track. Taking a look at the overview camera. So far, no mistakes in the beginning. I do actually like this overview camera because it really gives you like this overall perspective from above to see what player fell down already. Now we see Super Carloof and Busy, who have made a mistake somewhere in the mid part. 2 players therefore out of the fight for first. Shocker with a nice dirt line together with Enner this time. So now they're showing that they also have it. Of course, all the players are very well prepared and they do want to make it as far as possible in this competition. So that is very, very good driving. We're coming down to the last part now. Once again, Coco with lots of exit speed, about to make the overtake on Shiny Me, but Coco clipping on the inside. He was pushing a little too hard there. And we see 2.4s once again. Enner with a 0.42, together with Shocker, only 0.005 of a second. Wow.
Yeah, that was a correct close fight there. I was watching, and yeah, the overview camera, I really like it as well. The only down part about it is that it's two-dimensional. And if you have scenery or some other roadblocks on top of that, you cannot see the cars anymore. And also, if someone crashes, it really gets pepega. Let's just say it like that.
it can get a little messy. That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, at least it's a nice little feature. It actually came from Shootmania. I'm not sure if you remember from the good old days in Royal, in the Battle Royale mode. When you died, you had the entire overview camera where you saw every player on the map. And that's basically the same camera, so they just took it over, which is very interesting. But it does work out. I mean, the overview is something that sometimes is a little, lacking. So it's good to have.
Yeah, it's a good idea. And I mean, also, like that they implemented this, maybe you remember it from the Chase Me mode, or however it was called.
Yeah.
The ticket thingy, it is the same as
Follow
in the
me.
track of the day when you get out. Like the same interface overlay kind of as the follow me mode. A little bit. But I mean, it just, hopefully this mode will come back. But now we have Freestyle, a map by Deska, which is, yeah, it's a dirt map into tech. Just say it's simple here. Really important to hold your gear at the start, especially in this kind of uphill-ish turn where it's hard or where you can really lose your gear. But I would say that this map is on an easier end compared to the other map. But this, of course, means
Holy
that
moly.
rounds can get closer.
What just happened?
Yeah, okay, Aurel just did a point 24. He did yesterday a point 15. And this is a good time, yes. This is a good time, yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the actual world record.
No, it's not.
Maybe Magorian can tell us here. He is currently in the chat, but that is definitely a statement right here in the warm-up.
Yeah,
Aurel definitely looking hot here as we go live into the first round. So this is the aforementioned uphill where you want to get really close to the wall, similarly to the old uphill and downhill blocks in Stadium Dirt in TM2 Stadium or Nations Forever, where if you wanted to keep speed, you had to go really close to the outside barrier. And Aurel is really doing well here. He already gained a 0.2 advantage over everyone else as he did a very cheeky nose slide on the dirt. Camera currently on Energized, who's opting for a wider drift to get a bit more exit speed. So right now he is finding himself in 4th place, is getting chased down by Shocker, by Feed, Enner, and some other players as well. Feed is a player we actually haven't really seen a lot in this match so far. So maybe this is his chance to make something happen. As we're now coming down to the final corner, we see Aurel still holding up the lead, and he is just driving another incredible local one time, 57.18, which is very close to the world record now.
That is super fast, not gonna lie. So this is a super fast time by Aurel, and this just... I mean, this just shows that Aurel is one of the fastest players out there. And we have one player already dying here. And
yep, that was Vake.
Yeah, Vake just died.
Made a mistake.
Playing with Feet and Nixotica in a team. So I just searched out the team names. So we have Shocker, Enner, Carl playing, and then Coco Cap and Aurel, and Vake, Feet and Nixotica. And then we get left with Shenemy, Energize, and Busy, yeah. So those are the teams. And Busy making a mistake here, so he leaves his teammates alone. As Enner is currently in this battle here for that 4th position, gets a good speed, and also comes close towards Aurel, but Aurel looks unstoppable on this map. No one is able to really challenge him. As you can see here, he's so far ahead, but Energize is going for the attack, as well as Coco. Enner with the more outside approach has more speed to work with here, but only one drifter remaining, and Aurel will drop another 3x or something like that. What is that for an illegal time at 0.28? Aurel is crazy on this map. He is so crazy, and he's up to 110 points, so only 10 points away of getting finalist mode.
Very, very impressive. I mean, this is just such a good thing to have in a team mode like this. When you have one player who just constantly gets those top points, then it's already half the deal, you know? And it's a bit like Twitch Rivals, where you had the team format, and it was pretty much enough to just have 1 or 2 players just constantly get the top points, and the rest could sandbag, and you still make it through. That's obviously the difficulty in having a team-based competition in Trackmania, where you need to properly balance out the point repetition in order not to, you know, enforce a kind of disparity in these points. That's something that you really have to look out for. Gotta be an absolute 5-head in maths to figure out everything properly. But enough about maths. Let's actually take a look at the round, and once again we see Aurel in the lead. That is pretty much the usual picture these days. Aurel is just absolutely popping off on this track. But in the midfield we see lots of great fights here. Let's take a look at Energize, who's currently having a battle between himself, Shocker, Coco, and Super Karloof. The last corner is going to decide that you can opt for a slightly tighter line, which Energize is doing, and passes Cap and Super Karloof. And we see very, very close times here. 5-1, 5-2, 5-5, 5-5. And then there's Aurel with a 3-2, just because he can.
Yeah, I mean, also look at Coco. Look at the difference between 2nd and 3rd. Jesus Christ. 32 points. That is crazy. And Aurel can close it out here in his first finals attempt. And I think, don't want to jinx him here, but you know it's Aurel. He's a very fast player. And he will most likely do it because he has won 3 rounds in a row on this track. And I'm just gonna follow Aurel here for his first finals attempt. It's weird to say it already because the match kind of has already started because we're on map number 3 and Aurel can already close it out here. So this is a crazy performance here, but he's getting challenged here. But a beautiful no-slide by Aurel, but loses a little bit here in this section, but still is in the lead here. But Carl is going for the attack. Didn't get the best turn there because he had to, he couldn't steer as early to the right as Aurel could have done it. But Aurel is still in the lead. Look at that. It's such a close battle, but he is just, again, he's pressing B for boost. He energized Aurel and Carl are the contestants. Only the last part will decide it here. Can Aurel take the victory here already in his first finals attempt? Carl with a very close line. Aurel is dead and Aurel won't make it here. Energize and Carl getting first and second. And this is super good for them. For Carl and Energize that they get points for their team. So Shenemy, Energize and Busy are of course in the team, and Shocker, Ener and Carl. So it can get very confusing. But also it is Coco moving up to finals mode. But we're gonna go to the next map now, Under the Clouds, which is by Superl, and the WR is a 102.42 by Shocker.
Honestly, that was a very good performance by both Energize and Super Carlov, because they did deliver exactly when it mattered. They really put Aurel under pressure. You could clearly see that Aurel was basically forced to risk and to go all in the last corner, and then he just made the mistake. So that's, of course, the mental thing that's coming into account when you play competitive Trackmania. It's not only about driving, it's also a big mental game, and that's something that lots of people maybe don't quite realize until they're actually in the driver's seat. So the mental thing is something you really shouldn't neglect. Being in a certain position can really make the decisive difference in your performance as well, because obviously being in a finalist situation really forces you to perform, and the pressure can definitely cause more mistakes sometimes, or it can really cause the opposite as well, where you really start to drive well and the adrenaline in your body just kicks in and you're all of a sudden driving Gwen lines, you know, like you're just really good. So yeah, the mental thing definitely something that could play a role in this trio cup as well. We see 2 teammates, Aurel and Coco, now in finalist mode. So if these 2 players win 1 more round, they will bring their team into the grand finals of this competition, which is obviously the goal from everyone here. The point limit is 120, so many players are kind of out of sight right now. But since we're playing with 12 people, Turbo, this could get quite messy indeed.
Yeah, we can have 5 winners, but only 1 team has made it. And then it's going all down to the wire. And then people are denying because they're not finalists, and so on and so on. And eventually everyone is finalist at some point. So it can get pretty messy. It's a little bit like this Zerator Cup Duo Edition. And I think the mental game actually comes more into place with that, because you have other people in your back, at the back of your head, because you play with other people. You don't want to disappoint them, and so you put more pressure on you. But yeah, let's go into this round here, as Energize has a beautiful start here, as also Local 5 here. But now there comes really the important part here, where you want to either jump high and get a like no slide or something like that, as Coco is doing it, or you jump like an Energize and hold your gear, and he is currently in first. And also here, this is such a weird section. You really want to minimize airtime on both parts here and do a flow trick, but don't want to clip the ramp. But Shocker is jumping so far here. It's a close battle between Energize and Shocker for that first position. Ener with a good slide, had to readjust though. Who's getting first? Shocker and Energize. It is Shocker actually, but what a close round, man. Oh my god, every time here, 4 players under 103. This is a crazy round, and Shocker eventually has won it. And we don't see Aurel and Coco in there. So Aurel finishes on 8 and Coco only on P9. So the team around Coco, Cap and Aurel didn't really feel it on this round.
This round certainly didn't go their way. Fortunately for them, they can afford rounds like these, because they have accumulated such a big lead that they can afford making a mistake like this. On the other hand, also gotta make sure that you don't let your mental game get ruined by rounds like these, because you've kind of built up this great momentum and you dominated a map and you got so many good rounds, and then all of a sudden things are crumbling. Obviously that's something you gotta get used to and try to just forget about and refocus for the next couple rounds. So let's put extra emphasis here on Coco, who is actually getting a very nice ice section. where also your goal is to minimize airtime. Putting the camera on Aurel, he also still has chances to make something happen. Feed actually on first place, a name we have not seen very often, as I said earlier. And right now he is actually in the lead. Energize also with the attack line on the inside, and also Aurel is now trying to make something happen. Diagonal jump here to land as early as possible. You want to grip on the ground for maximum speed. And we see that Energize, Aurel, and Feed have gotten pretty much the equal amount of exit speed out of that corner. Coming up to the hairpin now. Who gets the most speed here? Aurel with very, very nice precision. It's going to come down to the ending, and I think Feed is going to stay ahead. Feed stays ahead by 17 thousandths of a second and denies Aurel the next finalist attempt.
Yeah, and now it actually can get a bit tricky for them, since Aurel lost 3 times in the finalist mode, or even 4 times. No, 4 times actually, because we had 1 round on the other map as well, and this was the 3rd one here. So counting, we can also do that, so casters can also count. And actually cool to see that Feed has won a round, but because we haven't seen him. But also look how close it is between all the players. Vague and Busy are the players who didn't really like follow up, as well as Nixotica only with 52 points. But then from 9th place onward, everyone can take it, kind of. And we have no winner yet, so it's getting really interesting. And also Aurel not with the best start again. But just when I say that he finds himself in 5th position, so he has gotten himself a good line. And also Coco.
Oh, Coco out.
Also dead. Yeah, I wanted to state that one out here. So Coco not winning the round here, and it's between Feed, Shenemy, and Enner. But Shenemy with a mistake there, clipping the inside, and had no speed to work with here. But Aurel is lurking. Aurel is lurking here. Good amount of speed here for him. Only 500ths of a second between Enner, Aurel, and Feed. And Aurel gets a good amount of speed, but this doesn't really matter too much, as he needs a good landing in this pipe. He gets it very good. Look at Aurel's speed here. He goes up into the lead, but of course didn't land that early as Enner and Feed. But let's see the ending again. Aurel does it really good. Enner and Feed are ahead though. And Feed again with 1st position, denying Aurel. This guy is crazy. And again, 14 points to Feed. And with that, he moves up to 100 points himself. This is getting crazy. This is getting super crazy.
Wow. You might actually say that Feed is actually feeding us some more exciting rounds, because he just keeps he keeps denying Aurel for some extra rounds here. And he's actually doing really good, gotta say that. 102.865 here by Feed. And he is now up to 100 points, tied for 5th with him and Shocker, as we come down to the last round here on Under the Clouds. And no winner yet. This is definitely going to be exciting, as we see the first bonk by Shinemy, who is actually being a bit too optimistic going into one of the first corners, making contact with the wall. And I think that was Coco. Coco with very interesting speed loss at that point. And also Vague is dropping down, so Coco is definitely going to be out. Let's take a look at Aurel, because he must be sweating after getting denied multiple times. Aurel definitely knows that he has what it takes to finally win this. At the moment, it's just not working out. Cap indeed with a really, really risky line there, as we come into the grass section, where we see Aurel trying to stay a bit higher in the wall to maintain a bit more speed. Right now, it didn't quite pay off, and now he's trying the attack, trying to jump a bit earlier. Lands smoothly in the slope, might get a bit more speed here, shooting up to 2nd place, but he has 1100ths of a second to catch up to Shocker in the lead, who is getting a nice line through the hairpin, and Aurel gets 2nd again. Is this Shorty?
I wanted to say the same. I wanted to say the same. Oh man. Aurel's 5th finalist attempt, and he has only made a mistake once. And look at this score. We have 6 players who have exceeded the 100 points barrier, and then we have 2 players who are very close of that. So we can see like 6 or 7 finalists here. But now we have Mojo coming up again. So map number 4, a map again that is, reminding me a bit about TMGL again, because Firestorm has this unique mapping style, which is a very fast-paced map, of course, and multi-style. So it's a really cool map. I really like it, but it's, of course... So, does it remind you of TMGL as well a bit?
It kind of does, actually. I mean, these faster corners and the constant switch between surfaces, it's pretty much exactly what many TMGL maps have been like in Season 2. So, the resemblance is definitely interesting. currently taking a look at Energize, where you see you go from dirt to road to grass. Then there's one ice patch. You have sausage road in the end. You have these platforms and grass again. Then hop onto the road, and then we have platform again. It's a very versatile map, and also the fastest one from the pack by the looks of it. Definitely something that can favor that one or other player, because obviously that's something you need to take into account as well. And when you have a trio cup like this at team format, it's even more important that you have a team consisting of players who can handle all kinds of maps. Because of course you can have team members that kind of complement each other and they just work together as a team, puzzle pieces kind of sticking together and then it works. Or you just have players who are good at everything. And right now it really seems like the team around Coco and Aurel have been doing great up until that previous map where things kind of started to go overboard. Let's take a look here. Mojo has been a good map for them, so maybe they can actually make something happen. Let's take a look at the first round. Supercar Luf is our cameraman for this round, and he is off to a very, very good beginning as he gets the most amount of speed out of that section, finding himself on P1 right now, just in a battle with Vake, who is a player we actually haven't seen much from either. Coming down to the grass part, none of the players actually going for a speed slide, which can be a bit of a time gain there as well. But none of the finalists are in the battle right now. We see Coco is there, and Aurel is also there, but it's not enough as we have Enner with a more than 0.1 lead as we come down to the last sector. Enner with a really risky approach, and Coco is actually trying. Coco is coming closer. Coco with more speed. He's really pushing it to the limits right there. And Coco might actually have it as he gets the inside line and the advantage into the finish ring, and Coco is through.
Yeah,
what
Coco
a
is
risky
through.
line by Coco. He almost jumped too low, and we have our first player making it through, securing the first out of 2 required spots for Team Softeed.
Yeah, Coco for me came a little bit out of nowhere, I have to say, in this round. But definitely deserved a very good performance and a little bit of a relief. I mean, still Aurel or also Cap, who's at 100 points. They still have to win one round in order to secure their ticket in the grand final. But let's actually follow the new finalists here, because we have Enner and Energize, who were moving up into the finalist mode themselves. I'm gonna go with Energize, the Begenius player. Not with the best start here, but
bonk.
someone actually clipped there. Was that Aurel or... No, Aurel doesn't make mistakes. Kind of. He's just a risky driver. I'm not sure who was that, but let's continue on going here as Energize goes for the wiggle here and gets himself a good amount of speed. Also very outside approach here to get a lot of speed. Super risky for him, has a lot of speed. Shocker is in the lead, but then we have also Aurel and Enner. So everyone is kind of in the mix. Energize jump super far there from the left, from the right to the left, but was able to stay on track as Shocker is in the lead. Bear in mind, Shocker is not finalist yet, but he has 115 points, so he has to stay in that first position or to deny Energize. Getting a good line here over this part, but it's not enough here. It's actually super close here in the ending, but Shocker denying Enner and Energize and also Aurel. What a messy round.
Definitely super exciting, and I think we're going to be sitting here for a bit.
Yep.
Actually, one more thing. Now I'm reading in the chat that all 3 players need to make it through.
Really?
Not sure if this is maybe something that changed coming into the semifinal. I'm not quite sure about that, but perhaps at this point all 3 players need to make it through the finalist mode. So that way we have even more exciting stuff coming up, I suppose.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, Enner, one of the finalists, already dead. Shocker in the mix, still together with Energize and Aurel. He must be crying a little bit because Aurel still hasn't made it through. And he was in fact the first player to make it into finalist mode in first place. Right now we have a great approach by Shiny Me, who is really gaining a lot on everyone else. Aurel going wide, having to adjust. We've seen one other wall touch who had a very similar line than Aurel. And I think this round is definitely going towards Shiny Me, who is really popping off there. Very nice. Oh, no. And Aurel also hitting the DNF button right here.
Fake.
Coming down to the ending. And yep, that looks good for Shiny Me. 102.98. No, 102.778. Followed by Cap and Energize on 3rd place. The best out of the 4 finalists here in this round.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, if every player has to make it, this will be the Rated Cup 2019 all over again. will see
Most likely.
we will see 10 finalists, because you can see it's messy already, because players who are finalists, they do not get points. And let's say someone like Shiny Me, who had a rather conservative start in the round, is now actually up to 96 points. And the other players, they're waiting. They're just waiting to win. And we only have, just take Aurel. Aurel is winning, and Cap is not even finalist yet. So this team is not through. So everyone will be finalists at some point. And this is exactly the point that you were talking about, of coping pressure and stuff like that. This will come in super important, and also will be, the team that handles pressure the best will eventually win. But let's go into the round here, as we have Shiny Me in the lead. So again, a very good performance by the BGenius player. We have Carl, Anner, and Aurel. So we have 3 finalists chasing him down. So can Shiny Me deny all 3 of them and could go up into finalist mode himself? Bear in mind, it is Energized and Busy in his team, so Shiny Me could only deny, but Aurel with a good line here, and Aurel will overtake him. No! Aurel! Oh my god, what was that line? Anner and Shiny Me are in first and second, so a great round for them, for both Anner and Shiny Me. So Anner not in finalist yet, but he's going closer. And wait, actually, Anner was finalist. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was so messy.
Yeah, Anner was like question mark in the chat, because he was third, and both players in front died miserably in the ending, including Aurel. So now at this point, you kind of have to be worried about Aurel, because he's going into the next map and he's still not through. How do you think he's gonna cope with this now? You think now more risk, or what do you think is going through his head right now?
I mean, Aurel is usually a very experienced player, and I think that if, let's say, Cap making it, that Aurel will definitely be pressured as well. You can actually see it, that Aurel is not that comfortable with that situation right now.
I mean, no one would be. It's just such an unfortunate thing. A good thing is that this is normally his good map, so on the one hand, it could be more pressure because he knows he can make it happen. On the other hand, it might take a bit of ease off his shoulders. I don't know, man. It's hard to say.
So I think that Aurel thinks like that at the moment. He knows that everyone has to make it, and no team, or only one team, is making it through here in this one. So, I mean, we have to play till 3 winners. And the next map, I mean, he has won 3 rounds there and has gotten himself finalist there. So if you remember the Dirt Tech map by Exotica, I think then he's gonna make it. So he's gonna wait for that. He just has to stay calm and collected, and just make himself a cool head. So let's actually follow him here for this round, to see how Aurel is doing here, and see if he can eventually make it here, as he didn't really get the best start. So he's already struggling in this one. Also Feed with a mistake there. So Aurel in second to last position. Of course, we only have 10 players left, and this is also a very huge factor here. If, let's say, 5 players are out, you can only get a minimum of 5 points, so everyone will be finalists at some point. Also a point that you have to consider, but Aurel comes back with a good line here, goes up into P7, also a good line over the third, goes for a no slide, a lot of speed for Aurel. Look at that, he goes up into the 3rd position actually with that line. Shocker and Cap are ahead of him. Cap is of course finalist as well, Shocker as well, and now Aurel is up into the lead. What a crazy round, Aurel versus Cap here in the ending. Both of them are teammates, and Aurel gets more speed. Cap with a mistake, and this is the GG for Aurel by the looks of it. If he doesn't fail the ending, it is Carl coming closer, but Aurel has more speed, and Aurel finally, after plenty of finalist attempts, has made it.
Very nicely done here, and finally Aurel is through. Finally, he's made it happen. 57.41. He did a great job at coming back after an initial, wonky start, where he didn't hit the greatest line here in the first third corner. Aurel finally through, which means 2 out of 3 players for Team for Team Softied are through at this point. And that is a very, very good thing off their shoulders. Like, it's a good burden to have off their shoulders, which is very nice. So we're coming up to the next round. Super Karluf actually with a very super inside line as well. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make that jump. Yes, he is. And Cap did apparently fall off the track. That is not the greatest thing to have. Let's take a look for what's happening at the front. Shiny Me with very, very bad approaches there in the dirt, having to adjust his line, and therefore drops down in speed tremendously. The ending is going to decide it. Nixotica going super wide. Shiny Me might gain one position here, which is of course important, because if you're not a finalist, you still gain points, while everyone who is already finalist is not going to get points. So Shocker is now going up into winner status. He has made it.
Yeah, and so
we have 4 winners and 5 finalists.
Jesus, so 3 players have not made it, and those are the players who actually were falling behind a lot. But we have 4 winners from 2 teams, so we have Shocker, Enner, and Carl in one team. So Carl has to win it here. Or also Cap. So they get a little bit pressurized because 2 of the players are waiting. But of course they can take it easy because the other players are super far away here. But I'm gonna go with Cap here in this round, but makes a mistake here in this one again. Had to readjust, but still is on track though. Didn't lose too much with that because he gets a lot of speed in this dirt section. Energize is in first. Then we have also Nixotica, who has failed the ending a little bit, but a great performance for him on this map. And bear in mind, he's not in finals, so he could deny some people here. But Energize is looking good here to take this one home. Take the first victory, but Cap comes closer. Cap comes closer. Who has more speed? It's actually Cap with more speed in the ending. Energized with a better finish. Oh no. Energized with the risky finish, and he is the first one of his team to make it. Shinemy and Busy are the other ones in his team. So Energized is through. We have 5 winners and still 4 finalists. So 9 people have red or a green name.
Very good effort by Cap. It did look a bit dire after he completely missed that one line. And his team still needs to shake. They're still shaking, you know? They're like, come on, Cap, make it happen. And now he's got another chance. Who is in finalist mode? We see Karluf, Cap, Shinemy, and Feed in finalist mode. That is 9 out of the 12 players. And at the moment, it is Feed going for a very inside line. And also here, he is definitely the player who opts for the tightest lines at the moment. In the lead, we have Shinemy for a B-Genius here, who is leading comfortably. But in this corner, he is... that was a bit of a crunchy line there. But he is still in the mix. He is being attacked by Trackmania World Champion Super Karluf. We're doing it here in the ending. Shinemy might have it though, and he is indeed making it happen. 57.57. Staying in front of Super Karluf. Shinemy is through.
Yeah, look at that. Shinemy and Energize are through, and now we're only missing Busy. And Busy, of course, now surpassing the 100 points barrier. So we have 6 winners and no team going through, because we have, from 3 teams, we have 2 players making it. And 3 players are getting completely pressurized by just that they have won, that they finished, right? And they're waiting for them. But it is crazy. And now we have a freestyle here, the next map by Deska. So crazy format. I just have to say that. And yeah, I'm interesting to see how Carl is gonna make it, because you named it. He's the 2006 world champion, a very experienced player. How he can cope with this really new format that we're seeing here.
Indeed. So team formats, of course, they have been part of Trackmania, competitive Trackmania, for so long. We've had so many team competitions in the past, and they've all been a blast. And now, as time progresses, solo competitions are taken over more and more, and it's getting rare, or at least not as frequent, to see team competitions being played. So now we have the trio competition, which obviously takes different skills from players and puts even more pressure on the team to actually make it through. Now it's not just a solo performance, but now you need to work as a team to make it happen. So now we're playing freestyle again, and we have indeed 6 winners, 3 finalists, and 3 players who are not finalists yet, in the names of Nixotica, Busy, and Vake. So there's a chance that Nixotica and Busy can make it into finalist status as well. I'm not quite sure about Vake. He has been underperforming in this match quite heavily, as he's only sitting there with 91 points right now. So yeah, 2 teams are going to make it through, and at the moment it is looking good for Team Softeat and for the other team? What was the name again?
I don't know.
Some French team, right?
Yeah, I just know
French
that
name.
they're in a team, but I think something with also like BG or something because of B Genius. But hey, let's go into the first round here. But the thing is now, you have 6 people who already won, so there's only the 6th position which you get when you crash. This means you get a minimum of 5 points, 4 points. So eventually it is Vake still being finalist. But yeah, let's take a look onto Cap here because he could close it out. And so many mistakes actually have happened here. And also Feed not getting a good line there. So Cap is on his way to actually qualify his team. And this would relieve a lot of pressure from his team, of course. Let's go with Feed here in this last couple of turns. Cap is 0.2 ahead. He can take it easy. And this is looking super good here for Team Softied, or as you have called Hillized, to qualify them. But yeah, that's the case. Cap not with a very good time here, a 57.76, but it was enough, and they are through. The first team in the final.
So it's definitely not a time you would usually win rounds with, but in this case it was sufficient. We see Cap taking it home after quite a long struggle, and the player field is shrinking and shrinking. One more player for the BG team, and they will be through to the grand final of the Ubiteam Trio Cup as well. We see 4 drivers left on the track: Nixotica, Busy, Super Karlov, and Feed. So this is going to be quite exciting to see. Right now, Nixotica is leading with a solid margin. 1100 of a second. Busy with a very, very tight line, almost hugging the inside wall there. And also Super Karlov is put.
Yeah, Vake had a DC. Go again.
Nice.
Wait, hello? Okay,
we good, or?
Yeah, Vake again DCing. So look at him, he's standing at the start.
All
he
right,
was lagging
technical
out.
problems.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot of times actually. But yeah, I mean, you've named it. It's Busy who has to make it for the team around Shenemy and Energize. And then we have, of course, a Carl who played with Shocker and Enner. So those are the teams we are looking out for, since both of those teams have 2 winners. And then there's, of course, Feed, Nixotica, and Vake. But are we actually live? I don't think so, because
no, because we're still missing Vake.
Yeah.
He's still not there.
Yeah, I was just standing at the start, so yeah, Nixotica probably only practicing. So we have one team that has no winners yet and 2 teams with 2 winners. So getting interesting to see if maybe Nixotica, Busy, and Vake can maybe win. You know, this could happen. It could happen. This format is wild.
It could definitely happen. I mean, it's Trackmania after all, and we've seen lots of upsets and lots of things that no one has really called before, you know? And, you know, today could be another day where things happen that nobody has really called out before. Right now, we're waiting for Vake to return. In the meantime, maybe some quick advertisement for a good cause that the organizers of the Ubiteam Trio Cup are doing. ! charity in my chat. You guys can donate.
Also ! Trio on my chat.
Awesome. You guys can donate. And the donations are going towards the Nanterre hospital in France. These days, you know, with COVID-19, it is pretty difficult to keep all the patients in check. It's, you know, they're regularly being ran over, it feels like. So lots of traffic, lots of things around the hospital. And everyone obviously needs to be taken care of. So if you want to contribute something for the good cause, you can use the link provided in these aforementioned commands. And as a little bonus, a €5 minimum donation will allow you to have a free map request on my stream as well. So it's a pretty cool thing. And yeah, maybe one less kebab for you, but help out the hospital. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I already donated €5 to that, actually, before you were saying that, because I think it's a good idea to just that everyone contribute someone, even though it's only a small amount, but this really stacks up, and it's nice that you are using this for a good cause. It's really cool to see that. But we are live again, so let's see how players will perform here, as Vake, Nixotica, and Busy are betting out with Carl here, and also Feed. So only 5 players left on the field. It's looking very empty, actually, after you have been used to see
I know, right?
12 cars. But yeah, Feed is actually in the lead, and Feed is in finalist. And he can deny Carl here, who is in finalist. And if Carl wins, this match will be over. But Carl is going for such an aggressive line. I'm going to follow him here. The Super Carloof here, 2006 world champion. But Feed is 0.2 ahead. So Feed will get himself up into the winner seat as well here. And then we have only 4 players left. So Feed takes it here, even though Carl has gotten himself a lot of speed in the end. But it wasn't enough. And Feed is through. GG's to him. And then also Nixotica elevates into the finalist mode. Busy also in the finalist mode. And this leaves us only with Vake, who's at 108 points. This looks so crazy.
Anything can still happen, and Vake just needs 2 rounds, ideally, to make it into finalist mode. Let's see if he's going to make it happen. Maybe the technical problems, the small break, is actually causing a couple issues for him, because a break can always bring you out of your zone and get you out of your focus. At the moment, everyone is off to a good start, though, here on a freestyle by Deska. Currently taking a look at Nixotica, who is executing the nose slide through the uphill left-hand dirt corner, which is a very important technique to do to save some speed. The nose slide allows you to grip through dirt and grass corners instead of sliding through it, which very often results in higher exit speed and higher cornering speed.
Oh my god.
We have an exciting round coming up.
Bonk!
And now with the full-on bonk, he did not see that one coming, apparently. So Nixotica is dead. And this could be the GG here. Carloof is in the lead by a very considerable margin. Super Carloof is in, and that's the GG for their team. They're going to make it into the grand final of the Trio Cup.
Yeah, Busy's first finalist attempt. Good effort there for him, but Carl with the better ending section. So, Carl is through with his team. Shocker, Enner, and Carl are through, as well as Coco, Cap, and Aurel. We unfortunately have to say goodbye to Vake, Feed, and Nixotica, and also to Shenemi, Energize, and Busy, who brought up a great fight though. So really looking forward to the second semifinal after seeing this wild format. Really cool to see
Indeed.
that. GG's.
GG.